Mel, where are you right now? Where did your clothes and all your stuff go? Place is empty. Frankie's room too! Everything's gone! What's going on? Where did you and Frankie go?
Hello, Jay. I know this is sudden and might come as a surprise, but me and Frankie won't be coming back home.
What?
I met someone else. We're getting a divorce. Don't worry, I'll only be taking Frankie. You can keep Anthony.
What? Where the hell did this come from? What's going on? Why?
I'm doing this for Frankie's benefit. Let's face it, Jay, our son is a genius. He's always at the top of his class, he loves to study, he excels at every sport he tries, everything he touches turns to gold. He wins the school art and music competitions every single year, too. There's no doubt about it, he's genuinely gifted. Which is why I think he deserves to be raised in the best environment possible and receive a superb education worthy of such high intellect. That's why he needs someone who's capable of providing financially for him. Let's face it, Jay, that's not you, is it? I'm sorry, but our son deserves better than what you can give him.
What? I'm not filthy rich, so you're divorcing me and moving out with my son all of a sudden? I don't understand the logic. We have food on the table, do we not? I thought we were getting by. And why do you only want Frankie? None of this makes any sense. How do you think this is going to make Anthony feel? Have you even thought about that? This is basically the same as saying, hey son, you're not as smart as your brother, so I'm abandoning you. See ya!
It's not basically the same. That's really what I'm doing. He's a good-for-nothing dullard that will never amount to anything. He's a failure of a human being. Son or not, what benefit is there in having someone like that around?
What? How can you say that? Anthony is not a failure of a human being.
Yes, he damn well is. His grades are below average in literally everything. He sucks at studying, he's so clumsy he doesn't even get picked in team sports, he's useless. He never won a single prize at school. No, it's worse than that. He never won a single thing in his life. How could he be described as anything other than a failure of a human being?
Stop speaking about him like that! Anthony's doing his best. He works so hard and tries to meet your expectations of him. Just because he might not always meet them doesn't mean he's not trying. He skips on sleep to study, damn it! Besides, his grades might not be the best, but they did start going up over the last year.
Maybe they did start going up a little recently, but they're still only slightly above average. If that's the best he can do when he pushes his limits, he is obviously not cut out for anything special. Face it, he lost the dice roll. Frankie got the clever genes. All the study in the world is meaningless without results. Frankie's always been a natural at whatever he does. How did his big brother end up so useless? If we're honest, he'll only end up holding Frankie back. Do you want to end up with 2 failed children?
Come on, are you seriously saying we should separate them? They're brothers and they love each other. They get on like a house on fire. How do you think they'd feel about being torn apart? They're still in elementary and middle school, for crying out loud. It would crush them and you know it.
Frankie would be more crushed by growing up to be a failure and realizing it was all because he received the poisonous influence of his loser brother for far too long. We have to be courageous enough to make the decision now before it's too late. Anyway, whether you like it or not, it's already decided. I'm taking Frankie because he's gifted, he's going to do great things one day. My new boyfriend is very wealthy. He's the CEO of a major donut chain, but he doesn't have any kids of his own. He said if Frankie can maintain his excellent grades until he graduates college, he'll adopt him and appoint him as successor to his company. And the cream of the intellectual crop, with the support of my new boyfriend, he'll be receiving a world-class education of the kind that most people can only dream of. Then one day, he'll be part of the business elite, the backbone of America. Which is precisely why he can't be allowed to associate with a pair of brain-dead morons like you two for 1 second longer. Me and Frankie are moving up in the world. And me and you will be cutting all ties.
Just wait a sec, Mel. You don't just get to decide something like this all on your own. I won't accept it!
I don't care whether you accept it or not. Whatever you say, I'm absolutely not taking his moron brother. I wouldn't if you paid me. I hope you and Anthony enjoy your new life together. It might be hard, what with you two having a combined IQ of less than 50 and all, but good luck. Goodbye forever. Hello, Jay. It's been a while. It's me, Mel.
What do you want after all this time? Go away.
I'd rather you weren't so rude. I was thinking of celebrating today, so I gave you a call. I heard the news about Anthony getting into med school. That's my boy. I always knew he'd do great things. He's got brains just like his mother. I can't tell you how proud this makes me.
Oh, that's strange. I could have sworn you were calling him every name under the sun when we last spoke 5 years ago. Good-for-nothing loser, brain dead, a failure of a human being. You cast us both aside like pieces of trash.
He really was a failure back then, though. I mean, come on, Jay. His grades were below average. Let me tell you, though, I was astonished when I heard he'd made it into med school. My jaw practically hit the floor. But you know what? Deep down, I always knew that he had what it took to go the distance, to really do something amazing with his life.
You've got some nerve, woman. The only reason you want to snuggle up to him now is because he got into med school. I can read you like a book. You're as shallow as you are naive. He doesn't need you to celebrate for him. Now get lost.
Oh, wait, just wait. That's not all I wanted to say. There's something else we have to talk about.
There is? You mean you have more nonsensical crap to bore me with? Today must be my lucky day, huh?
Stop being so difficult and just listen. It's about Frankie. You know how his grades were so excellent back when I took him 5 years ago? Well, I'd like to trade him for Anthony.
Excuse me?
No one could deny he was the shame of our family back then. He was so clumsy, it was like he had 2 left feet, which naturally made him useless at sports, and his academic ability was even worse. But now he's in med school, I have absolutely no problem with acknowledging him as my son. Rather than betting everything on Frankie, whose performance at this point is so pathetic, he might not even make it past his college entrance exams. I think it would make more sense to invest our hopes for the future in Anthony, who's already proven he's the one who's going places by getting into med school. My husband agreed. He said if he's clever enough to get into med school, he'd have no problem with allowing him to live with us. Look, basically, you need to give me Anthony.
Wow. Just when I thought you couldn't sink any lower, you speak about our boys like they're racehorses.
I get it. Maybe there's a better way to say it, but when you think about it realistically, children are basically racehorses, aren't they? My life will change enormously depending on whether my sons succeed or not. It's only natural to want to hedge your bets on the promising one. You get that, right?
Like hell I do! You're twisted! Anthony isn't some tool is solely existing to provide you with a comfortable life. Not only did you snatch Frankie away from his dad and brother, but now you're trying to manipulate Anthony like he's some pawn on a chessboard?
Fine. If you don't want to give me Anthony, let's trade.
What?
I'll give you Frankie if you give me Anthony. Frankie might still only be in high school, but it is one of the most prestigious high schools in the country. I'll even cover all his tuition fees and send you regular child support payments. You can't say fairer than that. I think this is a really favorable trade for you.
Wow, just hold on a sec. You want us to trade sons? What are they, Pokemon cards? Are you insane? How could you do that to Frankie? I thought you loved him.
You'll probably find it eventually, so I may as well just tell you the truth. But Frankie moved out half a year ago.
He did what?
He was doing great until middle school. Top grades, always winning competitions and prizes. He was the golden boy. But when he moved up to high school, he met a girl on social media who clearly must have poisoned his mind. Because not long after they met, he left home. He did carry on going to school for a little while, and he did used to message me every now and then. But eventually he stopped showing up, and even if I went to meet him or lied in wait where he couldn't see me, nothing. I have no idea where he went and have no way of getting him back.
Frankie did that?
My husband flipped a switch. I've never seen him so furious. He invested so much in that boy's education so he could be his successor and inherit the company one day. To think all it took to destroy it was some bimbo. He threatened to divorce me if I couldn't get Frankie back.
No way. So the only reason you want Anthony is as a replacement for Frankie? You're using him as a tool to avoid getting divorced?
If I'm completely honest, yes. We had an arrangement. My husband, being childless, said that if I could provide him with an adoptive son and successor to his company, he'd promise me a life of luxury as a celeb trophy wife. If I don't hurry up and find him a replacement, I'm gonna be on the streets.
I didn't know it was actually possible for a single human being to be this despicable. You make me sick. I have no words. To think part of me actually thought you were being sincere back then when you said you were doing what you did for Frankie. Turns out you were only ever thinking about yourself. Does your selfishness know no bounds?
You can say what you want about me, I don't care. Are you gonna give me Anthony or not? I might not be able to trade him for Frankie, but who knows, maybe he'll go and live with you voluntarily. If Anthony can get into med school after being such a failure, anything's possible. Maybe Frankie could even become a respectable human being again if he lived with you. So what's it gonna be? Will you give me him?
You must be deluded if you think even for a second I'm actually going to go along with this. You're something else. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. You're the one who got abandoned.
Huh?
You probably thought you were the one who abandoning me and Anthony. But the only one who actually got abandoned is you.
What are you talking about? What does that mean?
Frankie probably finally saw through your unparalleled selfishness and decided he was better off making a life for himself rather than relying on his deluded and very likely sociopathic mother. Basically, he had enough of you and didn't want to be around you a moment longer.
There's no way Frankie would ever think that about me. He's a genius. How could anyone so wise and intelligent have a negative opinion of me?
He left precisely because he's wise and intelligent. He probably realized that he was doomed to a life of being used and manipulated if he stayed with you. So he made a break for it and abandoned you. That's my boy.
Oh my god. After we spent so much money on him.
Anyway, I won't be giving you Anthony, and we won't be doing any kind of trade. In fact, Anthony is adamant he never wants to see you again. I also have no intention of letting him come anywhere near someone as dangerous as you. You can beg me as much as you like. I'm simply going to ignore you, and I will absolutely not be helping you. Leave us alone forever.
No, wait, please. I'm gonna be in so much trouble if you don't help me. Please, I won't have anywhere to live. If I can't provide my husband with a replacement son, his company will be successorless. What do you propose he do about that, huh?
Oh, is that my problem? Nope. That has precisely zero to do with me and my sons. Zilch. Nada.
Please, Jay, I'm begging you. Will you at least let Anthony meet my husband? He can do what he likes as long as he agrees to inherit the company. If he doesn't, I'm gonna get kicked out. I'll be homeless. Could you live with yourself? Be honest, could you?
Yes, very easily. It's actually kind of ironic, isn't it? You called Anthony a failure of a human being for so long, but ultimately, you're only capable of getting by begging from and sponging off of others. Looks like you were the one that failed a human being all along. After that, Mel showed up at my front door after driving a very long way to try and persuade me. Or should I say, my old front door. I'd moved house 2 years back and made a point of not telling her my new address. So I was surprised to hear from my old neighbor about the strange woman making a racket next door. Apparently, she gave up eventually, and her efforts to contact me and Anthony ended in vain. I heard she also went to the police to see if they'd help her find Frankie, but they told her no crime had been committed and refused to have anything to do with it. Ultimately, her worst fears came true. Her husband divorced her, and she was homeless. She somehow managed to scrape together the rent on a tiny cockroach-ridden apartment, and currently spends her days in the depths of poverty, probably contemplating where it all went wrong. By the way, there's something I should come clean about. Frankie moved in with me and his brother 6 months ago. The stress of his mother constantly restricting his freedom, combined with the pressure put on by him by her husband to take over his company, became too much to bear. In order to pull off this vanishing act, he pretended he met a girl online and had decided to go and live with her. Then, as he moved up to high school, he put together a bare minimum of essential items and came home to live with me and his brother. I know he's my son, but if I do say so myself, that was one hell of a move. I was in awe of his decisiveness and strength of will. With his mom getting divorced, he couldn't afford to stay at the original high school he moved up to, so he moved to another one near our house. Now, he's living comfortably while doing the things that he wants to do, living life on his own terms. As for Anthony, he was over the moon to be reunited with his brother. The three of us intend to live our lives in happiness and harmony from now on.
Hey, Lisa. I just got off the train.
Okay, I hope you have a good trip. I know it's probably too late now, but you didn't forget anything, right?
Nope, all good. I checked the whole 5 times before I left. Believe me. There was no way I was gonna let myself forget anything. Are you guys gonna be alright while I'm not around? I can't help but worry about the idea of leaving my wife and son on their own while I go off on a business trip to Seattle. I want you to contact me immediately if anything happens. Don't worry about bothering me at all, okay?
You worry too much. You might be going away on business, but it's only a week. Plus, Liam's 6 now. He's not in diapers anymore. We'll be fine. If anything, it should be me worrying about you. Make sure you don't go getting wrapped up in any accidents or catching any colds, alright? Make sure you cook for yourself as much as possible, too. We can't have you going out wasting the family finances on lavish meals with the company, Mr. Wolf of Wall Street.
I get it. Jeez, woman. Thanks for thinking of me, though. Okay, I'll see you in a week then. Don't have too much fun without me. If anything happens, your mom lives just around the corner, so I think you'll be just fine. But there are all kinds of weirdos hanging around these days, so just be careful. Okay, babe?
Okay, I will. Good luck with work. You're gonna smash it out of the park, honey. Liam said bye, too. Take care.
See you next week.
Stan, pick up. This is bad. You need to answer or call me now. This is urgent.
Glenda, what's up? Sorry, I just saw I had some missed calls from you. I'm away on business in Seattle right now. I had my phone on silent because I've been in a lot of meetings since we got here, so I didn't notice.
Forget that. This is bad. Your house is on fire.
What? On fire?
One of the neighbors' houses caught fire. It spread to yours and Lisa's place in the blink of an eye. Before anyone knew it, the entire building was up in flames. The entire street's full of fire trucks, and they're doing their best to put it out. But it spread so quickly, Half the street's on fire!
What about Lisa and Liam? They're safe, right? Tell me they're safe!
Liam's safe. He told me he made a run for it out the back door as soon as he realized what was going on. Rachel from next door found him wandering around outside and brought him to me. He is a little shaken up, but doesn't have any injuries.
My God. I'm so relieved.
But I haven't been able to get through to Lisa. She's not answering my calls.
What?
I've been calling her non-stop, but nothing. Rachel said she didn't see her either. So me and Liam walked back around to look for her. She's nowhere to be seen. I asked him if he knew where his mommy was, but he just said he doesn't know. It's hard to believe she'd leave little Liam on his own. And go out on her own at this time. I hate to see this, but God forbid. Could she still be inside?
Oh my God. I'm coming home immediately.
But aren't you in Seattle right now, Stanley? Will the company let you come home in the middle of a business trip?
I can't sit twiddling my thumbs in a business meeting while my house is burning down and my wife is missing. I'll be on the next plane out of here. Glenda, can you keep trying to call her in the meantime? We have to get through to her somehow. Please keep your eye on Liam for me until I get back too. Okay?
Of course I will. I'll keep him at mine and your father-in-law's house. He's welcome to stay as long as you need him to. Please, try not to lose your head, Stan. I understand this is hard, but we have to keep it together for Lisa. She's probably fine. I'm sure she'll show up at any moment now.
Thank you so much, Glenda. I'm gonna get home as fast as humanly possible. You're right. We have to keep it together for Lisa.
Stay strong, Stan. Everything is going to be okay.
Lisa, please get in touch with me as soon as you see this. Even if it's just a one-word reply, or you can just leave a message on red. Anything. Tell me you're safe. Please!
Hey, Stan, I hope the business trip's going well. Is everything okay? I just checked my phone and saw about 1 million missed calls. You surprised me. I fell asleep on the sofa while watching TV last night. I think I must have been super tired. Anyway, what's up? Did you want to hear my voice because you miss me? You're so cute.
Huh? Lisa? Huh? What the hell?
What do you mean, what the hell? Why are you acting all weird, Stan? You're scaring me.
Huh? This makes no sense. What's going on? Are you safe?
Of course I am. You really have a nervous temperament, don't you? I've never met someone this bad before.
Are you lying to me? Is this really Lisa? I don't. Lisa, I need you to tell me. Where are you right now? You have no idea how much I've been worrying about you. Where are you?
Where? I'm at the house, obviously. Where else would I be? I'm here with Liam.
What? You're inside the house? How is that possible?
How is it possible? Well, we're kinda just here. I just cooked us breakfast. That boy sure loves his pancakes. I'm thinking of taking him out to do a spot of morning shopping around 9.
No. Just wait a sec. What? You're telling me that you and Liam are inside of our house right now? The two of you are there together?
Duh, obviously. How many times do I need to repeat myself? He's been with me the whole morning. He's so lively today. What a little ball of energy.
That's impossible. You're lying. You have to be. What you're saying just isn't possible.
Huh? Lying? What do you mean?
That you and Liam are together inside the house is a lie, isn't it? I don't know what your intentions are here, but you're lying. Why are you lying to me, Lisa? Where are you for real? Just give me the truth. Because whatever you're trying to do, it's not gonna work.
What are you talking about? You've lost me here, honey. Why would you doubt me like this? Are you finding the business trip too stressful? Are you feeling okay? You should get some rest. You're not thinking straight. I told you like 50 times. I'm at the house with Liam.
We don't have a house anymore.
Excuse me? We don't have a house? What does that even mean?
Our house burned down last night. Not just our house either. The neighbors too. Apparently, half the street was on fire. There were fire trucks everywhere.
What? A fire? Is Liam okay?
Liam's fine. He escaped on his own. And Rachel from next door found him wandering outside and took him to your mom's. I'm with him at her house right now. Miraculously, no one was injured. The only damage was to property.
Oh my god! I'm so relieved.
I cut my business trip short, bought the first plane ticket available, and made it home in the early hours. Anyway, now you know there's no point in lying to me anymore. Where are you? It's pretty evident that you're not home like you claim to be.
Well...
Where did you need to go that was important enough to leave our son completely on his own? Why has no one been able to get in touch with you until now? What were you doing this whole time?
Well, the thing is... I was at Louise's place. You know Louise, my old classmate? She called and invited me to catch up over some drinks. I didn't think there would be any harm in just dropping by for an hour or two, so I agreed to go. I did intend to be back before midnight, and Liam is old enough to look after himself now. He's a big boy and very mature for his age. I thought it would be fine. But, well, I drank a little more than I intended to, and I was so tired from having Liam on my own all day that I fell asleep. That's why I didn't notice all those missed calls from you and my mom. I only just woke up. Which is why I panicked and lied. I wouldn't have imagined in a million years that the house would burn down.
Come on, Lisa. If you're gonna tell me a lie, could you come up with something more convincing than this half-baked pile of crap?
I'm not lying!
Luis, your old classmate just stopped by to check if you were okay. She said she heard about the fire on the news and recognized the house.
She did?
When you pile lies on top of lies, they soon come tumbling down. Now tell me where you are. Aside from Louise, a lot of your other friends showed up because they were worried about you after seeing it on the news. But not a single one of them has a clue where you are.
Well...
Just hurry up and come out with it already. And make sure it's the truth this time. You leave our son on his own late at night while I'm away for a week on business. You ignore mine and your mom's calls and messages. Then you go back home the next morning? Your behavior is so weird that even the dumbest, most gullible, most naive guy on the planet would be suspicious of you at this point. Tell me, what were you really doing?
Shut up, Stan! It's not like I'm the only one having an affair, is it? I know about you.
Huh? You're accusing me of having an affair? And when you say, not the only one, that basically means you just admitted that you're cheating on me! I knew it! How dare you leave our son all on his own late at night to go on some seedy little tryst with some other man? You're a disgrace. Marrying you was the biggest mistake of my life.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. That's my line. I mean, isn't it obvious? This little business trip of yours was just an excuse for you to cheat on me for a week with your lover, wasn't it? You used the fact that your company does business internationally as an excuse to get away for a week to go on a lover's holiday.
What the heck? Do you have a single shred of evidence to back up that ridiculous claim?
I don't have any evidence because you're as sly and cunning as they come, but I know I'm right. My boyfriend told me. He said, which self-respecting company goes on business trips that only last a week? which means you're lying. He said you were definitely going on a lover's holiday. That's the only reason I went on holiday with him. This is all your fault.
These are some Olympic-level mental gymnastics. Do you seriously think I would do that? I'm not cheating on you, and I never would. This week away wasn't a lover's holiday. It was a goddamn order from my boss! Why don't you give my company a call and hear it for yourself? They'll be more than happy to confirm it.
You think that's gonna work with me? I know your boss is in on it. Don't think you can pull the wool over my eyes by conspiring with your company. You're cheating on me, I'm sure of it.
Wait a sec. So you just said you went on holiday. Does that mean you left Liam on his own? For days? Tell me you wouldn't do that. Tell me it was just last night.
I went on holiday with my boyfriend the same day you went on your lover's getaway, you slimy two-timing rat. Liam's already 6, which means he is more than capable of looking after himself. God, would you stop treating our son like a baby? I left a few days worth of food for him in the fridge, which I made very clear he was to eat while I was away. Do you want our son to be entirely dependent on us his whole life? Stop being so overprotective. He has to grow up sometime, you know.
He's 6 years old, you freaking lunatic! What the hell did you plan on doing if anything happened to him while you were gone? Liam is not already 6, he's still 6. Which means he's a child! He's not safe on his own at home without anyone there to watch him! Besides, I say if anything happened, but let's face it, that's kind of redundant because the goddamn house burned down! Who leaves a small child on his own to go on holiday with their lover for an entire week? Are you a complete moron?
Shut up, Stan. I'm sick of your whining. Why did the house have to burn down? You never would have found out if not for that.
You're the most despicable human I've ever encountered. I feel like I've been living with a lie all these years, and I'm finally seeing the real you. We're getting a divorce.
Fine, I want a divorce too. However, don't think you and your lover are getting out of paying me compensation. I'm owed it. I want $60,000. Make sure you get it ready for me because you will be paying.
Are you actually insane? Like, mentally ill, but for real? I don't have a lover. And I most definitely won't be paying you a single cent of compensation. You seem to be conveniently forgetting the small matter of you being the one who's cheating on me. The only one who'll be paying for compensation is you.
No, I won't. When a man cheats, it's much worse than when a woman cheats. You can't compare the two. They're totally different. The woman is the one who receives compensation. She doesn't pay it.
Gender is irrelevant, you idiot. Cheating is cheating. The cheater is in the wrong in all cases, whether they're a man or a woman.
Stop talking crap. You're the one in the wrong here, and this is all your fault. I'll be taking full custody of Liam, and I'll see to it you never get to see him again. Oh, you will be paying child support, though.
Oh, you think so, do you? You really think I'm gonna leave my 6-year-old son in the hands of some unhinged lunatic who leaves him on his own to go on a holiday with her lover so she can cheat on his dad for a week? I'll be taking custody of Liam. You'll be hearing from my lawyer about the divorce proceedings and the compensation claim. As for the latter, so will your boyfriend.
If you think you've got what it takes to take me on, you better come at me with everything you've got, because I won't hold back either. Mark my words, you two-timing rat. It's the norm for the mother to take custody of the child. That's common knowledge, and you're delusional if you think otherwise. You're the one who's going to end up embarrassed in front of the whole court, not me. I'm sure we'll find proof of your affair as soon as we start looking, so you may as well not even bother fighting. Just give up.
I'm starting to believe you lack basic self-awareness. You won't get away with this. Prepare yourself for what's coming, because it won't be pretty. That evening, Lisa went back to her mom's house and yelled, "Bring Stan and Liam out here this instant," at the top of her voice. But her mom was prepared, because I already told her all about the affair. So instead of a sympathetic ear, Lisa met with the unharnessed rage of her furious mother, who sent her on her way with her tail between her legs. The next day, I hired a good lawyer, and I had him send Lisa and her lover the compensation claim. She insisted to the very end that I was in fact the one cheating on her, and that it was my fault that she and her boyfriend left my son alone to go on holiday. But due to a complete lack of evidence for her claims, her attempts to turn things around on me failed miserably. With the finalization of the divorce, I won custody of Liam, in what may have been the quickest decision in legal history, on top of compensation and regular child support payments. Of course, I did some research on her lover boyfriend, and had my lawyer send him a compensation claim too. Lisa was disowned by her parents, and told never to contact them again, at which point she ended up having nowhere to go but her lover's place. I heard they're struggling big time to keep up with the compensation and child support payments they owe, and they're now up to their necks in debt, and constantly trying to pin the blame on each other. As for me and Liam, we moved to a new apartment nearby, and are currently in the process of starting our new lives together. As always, Glenda, my mother-in-law, continues to play a big part in Liam's life. She absolutely adores him, and his face lights up whenever he hears she's coming over, because he knows it means he'll get spoiled. Me and my son are gonna go at it as a two-man team from here on out.